Alright, here's a quick little video showing you guys how to cross multiply and divide in order to solve a simple equation. It works when there are fractions on both sides of the equation. So we've got x involved in a fraction here and it equals a fraction over here. So when you get into a situation like this, the fastest way to solve this is to cross multiply and divide. So this is something that we end up doing a lot in proportions, solving a proportion, which is something we will be doing in Math 10A and W quite a lot. So here's how it works. Let's first try it the traditional way. The traditional way to solve this problem would be to try to get x all by itself. We want to do something here in our work that results in x equals something. So typically we look at this and we say, what's happening to the x? Well, you know what, 10 is being divided by x. So let's get the x by itself. So we can get rid of this 10 on top if we want to by multiplying on the bottom. So if we multiply the bottom of this side, there's going to be a cancellation. And that's going to be 10 over 10 is the same as 1. Now we have 1 over x. Let's write that down. 1 over x on this side. Now let's do some work over here. 12 divided by 3. Well, we have done something here. We've multiplied the bottom of this over here, the denominator 10 times bigger. We can't just call this equal. It's no longer equal. We just made one side, the denominator, 10 times bigger. Okay? So unless we make this side on the denominator 10 times bigger as well, this thing is not equal. For example, if I have 1 over 2 is equal to 1 over 2, that is true. But if I double the bottom, I now have, let's say I double this bottom here. Well, I have 1 over 4, and that is not equal to 1 over 2, is it? In order to make this true, I would have to double the bottom over here as well. If I double the bottom over here as well, now I've got 1 over 4 on this side coming down, and I've got 1 over 4 on this side. My statement is still true. So let's apply that over here. Back to what we were saying. I multiplied the denominator by 10. I have to multiply the denominator by 10 as well on this side in order to remain a true equation. So this is now true. All right, so let's bring this down. We have 12 over 3 and then times 10. So on the top, we're still going to have 12. Nothing is happening. On the bottom, 3 times 10 is 30. Perfect. All right, let's finish this off. Now the x is on the bottom, and that is kind of strange for me. I'm going to flip this over. So let's go and call it x over 1 is equal to 30 over 12. So if I'm going to flip one side, I have to flip the other side. Otherwise, the equal sign here is not true. I'll do another example of that here. So if I have 1 over 2 is equal to 1 over 2, that is true. If I flip one side to 2 over 1 equals 1 over 2, that is no longer true. Not true. But if I was to make sure that I flipped both sides, so I flipped this one to 2 over 1 and I flipped this one to 2 over 1, now the statement is true still. Now they don't look the same as one another. This line and this line look like two different things altogether. But the manipulation that I just did remains true, and that's important. The equal sign is the most important sign in math, and so you have to respect it. Make sure that what you're doing is true. Back to the question. So we had 1 over x equals 12 over 30. We didn't like the x on the bottom. We flipped this side. There you go, x over 1. Therefore, we had to flip the other side as well, 30 over 12. All right, now finishing this up, we have x over 1. That's kind of redundant. We don't really need to show that x over 1. In actuality, something divided by itself is always just the same amount. So, 2 divided by 1 is still 2. 4 divided by 1 is still 4. Therefore, x divided by 1 is still just x. And I really like the way this looks a whole lot better. because that's my goal in this question, is to get it by itself. So back to the question. X divided by 1 is simply X. 30 divided by 12, well, let's just punch that into the calculator to make this go quickly. And we have 30 divided by 12 is 2.5. So look at all the work we had to do. Look at all the things we had to understand in order to properly solve this equation. All right, we had to multiply the bottoms by 10. Both of them had to be multiplied, otherwise this wouldn't be true. Then we took a look at what we had. We had to flip it over. Both sides had to be flipped, or else it would not be true anymore. And then we recognized that x over 1 is just the same as x, and we divided these two numbers to get our final result. There we go. We have solved for x. Now, I promised you I would show you cross multiply and divide. It is a much faster way of doing things. So I'm going to make some space on the left-hand side here, and we will work away at doing cross multiply and divide. Just bear with me, and there we go. All right, we've got some space here. Let's show you how fast it can be to cross multiply and divide. Same question, 10 over x is equal to 12 over 3. All right, cross multiply and divide, here's how it works. It's a quick trick. As long as you multiply by the right numbers and divide by the right numbers, it works every time, no matter what position this x is in. This x could be on the bottom, it could be on the top, it could be on the other side on the top, on the other side over here on the bottom. It doesn't really matter. If you have two fractions with a variable in there, you can cross multiply and divide and very quickly get your answer. So the trick is to look at the x first. Always look at your variable and look across from the variable. That number is going to be the number that does the dividing. All right, that's the trick here. The two other numbers here are going to be the ones that do the multiplying, because there's multiplying and dividing in this. So this is a multiplication, and this guy here is going to be the divisor. All right, so that's really important to look at. I'm going to leave that up there. Let's rewrite this question. 10 over x equals 12 over 3. We see the x. We know the 12 will be the divisor because it's across from the x up on an angle. So let's just write our x down here, because in a very quick step we're going to have our answer. We're going to go 10 times 3 divided by 12. So 10 times 3 divided by 12. Now that doesn't look very good because there's a little x here, and it's confusing to have a big X and a small x. And in algebra, we don't like doing that. Let me just fix that. Let's try writing this like this, 10. So again, there's the divisor 12. We multiply the 10 and the 3 and divide by 12. So multiply the 10 and the 3 and divide by 12. That looks more correct in algebra. So, and in one shot here, I'm going to get an answer. Bring up the calculator. X is 10 times 3 divided by 12, so 10 times 3, which is 30, then divide by 12, which is 2.5. Very quick. And to prove to you how quick it is, I will do this one more time without teaching. I will just do it by solving an equation. And I'm actually going to mess around and I put the x on top just for fun. So x, actually even better, I'm going to put the x on top and on the other side to prove my point. So 2 over 3 equals x over 9. All right, cross multiply and divide. Here's my x, here's the 3. They are across from one another. That means that the 3 is the divisor. So I've identified that. We're going to go x equals the 2 times the 9 divided by the 3. 2 times the 9 divided by the 3, which means x is 2 times 9 is 18. 18 divided by 3 is 6. That is done. Very quick, very easy. Doesn't matter where the x is, top and bottom, top or bottom, on the left-hand side or the right-hand side. For solving a proportion, cross multiply and divide is a fantastic quick trick to get you to your answer nicely. Thanks for watching.